Hello and welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Frank Poulin, and we're here today at the gorgeous Riverstone Chop House to discuss the week everyone's been waiting for, and that's Suffolk Restaurant Week. It starts November 7th and runs through November 15th, and also another event you need to join in this year, Passion for Paws, held right here at Riverstone Chop House, Sunday, November 8th from 12 to 4. So certainly stay tuned so you can get involved in both of those events. Welcome back. We're here now with Kathleen Kelly of Suffolk Tourism and Ken Dodd, the operations manager of Vintage Tavern and Riverstone Chop House. And we're here to talk about one of the best events in Suffolk, and that's Suffolk's Restaurant Week.
Yes.
Well, first off, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now, let's start with you. And let's talk a little bit about, how Restaurant Week kind of got started, who's involved, and how people can get involved.
Well, it's actually one of our favorite events in Suffolk Tourism. It's been going since 2008.
Okay.
Well before I came on board.
Yeah.
And it started as just once a year, and it became so popular that they increased it to twice a year.
Oh, wow.
We have it in the spring and in the fall.
Okay.
And it's just a really great way for people to kind of try different restaurants in the area. And it's a way for you to go out and see what's out there as far as what chefs have, for you to try.
Absolutely.
We've got anywhere from 12 to 16 restaurants every time we do one of these editions.
And does it grow kind of each year?
It does, yeah. Sometimes we have as few as 12. Sometimes we've gotten up to as high as 17. My goal is to break 20 one of these times.
Oh, wow, okay. That'd be great.
Yeah, so, we're still signing people up right now. The edition this year starts on November 7th, and it'll go until November 15th.
Okay.
We're actually going to do 8 days this time instead of 7, just to see if that kind of helps us out a little
Really?
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a really great way to kind of see what's out there for everybody. So,
Yeah, absolutely, and just draw people into these
Yeah.
kind of different restaurants, or
Yeah.
places they might not normally kind of attend.
Yes, and the way that it works basically is there's no tickets. You don't need to call ahead, except for some of the restaurants where you might want to get a reservation.
Okay.
I believe Riverstone.
We
sometimes
suggest reservations. You don't always have to have them, but we suggest them.
Okay.
It ensures you a place in the dining room.
Yeah, and sometimes Vintage is the same way, I believe.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
And Harper's, I think Harper's Table, sometimes if you have a party of 6 or more, sometimes they suggest reservations. But most of the restaurants, it's basically just come as you are, and you just check the list to see if if this particular restaurant is participating in Restaurant Week. And you see what their menu has to offer as far as Restaurant Week is concerned. And there's 2 price levels. You can do the deluxe level, which is $10 for lunch and $20 for dinner.
Okay.
Or there will be the premier level, which is $15 for lunch and $30 for dinner.
What's kind of the difference? Does it depend on the restaurant?
It depends on the restaurant and what's being offered.
Okay.
Sometimes, it depends on what like you said, what's being offered. It might be just like a higher selection.
Okay.
Especially with the higher end restaurants, they do a little bit, more of steaks and things like that.
Oh,
That's going to be a higher echelon.
That's higher cost.
Yeah,
Reflects
it's
that.
what it takes to put it on the table for you would be probably a higher cost for you as the participant. But $30 for a 3-course meal.
That's really good. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So everybody seems to love it. We have people calling in July asking about when the next restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. and since it's in March, and then also again in November, and we have people calling in the summer.
Oh, wow.
They want it almost all year long.
So the word's definitely gotten around over the years.
For sure. So it's a very, very popular promotion for us. So we really, really enjoy it. So.
Yeah. Now, and do restaurants have to come to you to kind of sign up for it, or do you go to them? How does that kind of work?
For the most part, we have a steady group that pretty much signs up each time. But I do send out registration packets to almost all of the chef-owned eateries in the area. We don't do the chain restaurants just because we try to keep it kind of specific to eclectic restaurants that are
that's
creative,
cool.
and we want to try and keep it creative and that kind of thing.
Because people kind of know what's on the menu at those chain places, and I know like a lot of boutique restaurants will change their menu and kind of add stuff and try new things.
Right. Not a knock against Applebee's, but
you
know what you're going to get when you go there. So
regardless of the city you're in.
Exactly. So they can't really change it up, whereas Riverstone, it might change it, week to week. So so that's one of the draws to Restaurant Week, is that they can change it each time. So. So we send out registration packets, and then they, kind of let us know what they're going to be doing.
Okay, great.
So.
And then and it's so great that people don't have to get tickets, so they don't have to wait in line. But as you said, make sure you call for a reservation for certain restaurants.
Yes.
Right.
But is there a way they can find out the list? How do they find out who's involved and what the menu is, basically?
We put everything on our Facebook page,
Okay.
Which is Suffolk Restaurant Week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have a new website, which is, let me make sure I get this right, restaurantweeksuffolk.com.
Oh, okay. So it's a website just dedicated to Restaurant Week.
Restaurant Week, it's actually a page through the city
Okay.
website, and we put all of the descriptions of the restaurants, and then we put a link to all of the menus that we receive.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
And as people sign up, as the restaurants sign up, we link a PDF of the menu there.
Okay.
So it's a great way to kind of keep people up to date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Head over there if you're a little hungry, and then start heading out, find what you need.
As I put them up, I think, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. So let's turn towards kind of the restaurant side of things.
Okay.
Now, how long has Vintage Tavern and Riverstone Chop House been engaged with this type of?
Actually, from the beginning.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, in 2008, we started with Vintage Tavern, and the very next year, we started with Riverstone. So.
Oh, wow.
And it's a great program. Again, it's an opportunity for us to introduce our restaurants to the general populace, in the surrounding cities that we don't otherwise engage. So it's a great program. We're so appreciative to be a part of it. And every year we've seen growth in that program.
Have you? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. And every year the attendance gets more and more. So it's a great program.
Yeah.
Like I said, as long as you take the opportunity for what it is, it's a great city is sponsoring the event for us, and we actually partner with them, and it's a great way to get our name and let people know that we do have culinary destinations here in Suffolk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're proud of it. And like she was saying, it focuses on the local restaurants that we have, the family-owned, the smaller businesses, and that's certainly what we are.
Yeah.
We're certainly higher end.
Yeah.
But we have local produce that we get through our farms here locally.
Okay.
So we offer some unique items that you won't find at, say, some of the chain restaurants that you have.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a great opportunity for us.
And now I guess what everyone kind of wants to know what's going beyond the menus here at both restaurants for both the deluxe or the premier or something like that.
Absolutely. Well, we have a 3-course menu that we're participating in this year. It's a $30 menu. Here at Riverstone, for those 3 courses, you're going to have an introduction to our restaurant as a whole. We do have a raw bar here at the restaurant. So we're offering a raw bar option as a starter. Okay. We also have a sushi bar.
Oh, wow.
So we have a sushi option as a starter as well. And then you have your salad and soup, which is pretty typical. Both of those are made in-house. Okay. And then we have several options for your main course, whether it be steak, fish, and what have you. There's something a little bit for everyone. Yeah. And then our 3rd course is going to be a dessert option. And we have a local an in-house pastry chef that we use.
Oh, really? Wow.
So they're all desserts that are made right here at Riverstone. Okay. And the same thing goes for Vintage Tavern as well. Okay. Again, you're going to get a taste of the restaurants. You have a fresh made soup or salad. And all our produce is locally farmed. Okay. Here. The options as far as dinner, over there you're going to get more of a southern flair to the food.
Is it? Okay.
It certainly, we call it seasonally southern. Okay. And it certainly is that. It changes with the seasons, depending on what we have available here, in the area. But as far as the menu goes, you're going to find pork on the menu. You are going to find fresh fish because we're surrounded by water here. So fish is always available to us. You're also going to find some of our chef specialties. Kenny Reynolds is our executive chef over at Vintage Tavern. Okay. Chef CJ. Christopher Jones is our chef here, and they both do a fantastic job of creating dynamic menus that are interesting for people to try. And that's really what we want to do when we're introducing ourselves to a whole new crowd.
Yeah, so I was going to say, how does kind of a restaurant, kind of conceptualize the menu to kind of open the doors to a new kind of audience? Right. Yeah.
Well, what we try to do is have several options that'll appeal to different people. We know diets in this day and age are certainly being adhered to more than they have been in the past. So we try to have some dietary options for them, some lighter fare, if you will. Okay. That's the addition of the raw bar or the sushi bar. Yeah. It certainly serves that purpose here at Riverstone. Yeah. And over at Vintage Tavern, Chef Kenny has certainly put a mind to making sure we have some options for those guests. Yeah. but
I imagine with the southern style food, it's a little bit more difficult to stay within those dietary guidelines.
Believe it or not, there are options.
Okay,
Believe it or not, there are options. A lot of it is fresh produce.
Really? Right.
Absolutely. And his preparation, I don't know what he does. It's magic to me as well. But he does a fantastic job. At least all the guests that I talk to absolutely love it.
And I've eaten at both restaurants, and they're both fantastic.
Well, excellent. Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
It sounds absolutely like a stunning menu and something that I definitely am going to partake
I highly
with.
recommend both.
Yeah. So talk a little bit more about the restaurant itself, if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this is our 7th year
Okay.
here in the Harborview section of Suffolk. In this restaurant, of course, we're catering to a larger crowd. We have a lot of international visitors because of the businesses that we have around us with Lockheed Martin, with the former Joint Forces, which is now Joint Staff.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of guests that are coming into town. We certainly appeal to a larger crowd as far as the broadness of our menu. It's a large menu. We specialize in steaks, of course, but we have other chops. We have fresh fish, of course. I already mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
But we do appeal to a broad audience here at this restaurant. Over at Vintage Tavern, again, it's going to be a more narrow, specialized menu because it is seasonally Southern.
Yeah.
Of course, there are options for everyone, but you're going to find a little bit more of a chef has a little bit more liberty to create that menu.
Gotcha.
Okay, he can be a little bit more creative in that environment than what we allow our chefs to be in this environment. Only because, again, you have to understand that steaks are what we do every day on a daily basis here.
There's a certain thing you expect when you come to a chop house versus...
And there are certain things when people come to a chop house that they expect, whether it be shrimp cocktail or of course, great steaks, you have to have them. But you have to have other options as far as, we serve lamb chops here as well as, and they're a domestic product, which is fantastic.
Okay.
So,
and you mentioned something really interesting that you don't often connect with kind of Suffolk itself, and that's the international component of it with all the businesses we have, and having to kind of cater to certain worldwide interests.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, we're very, very fortunate. I mean, we knew that coming into this area, but we didn't understand how big this area was going to get and how quickly it was.
I'm sure.
We always expected it. There's no doubt about it. Lockheed Martin was already here when we put the building here.
Okay.
And Joint Forces was in existence. But every day when I'm here, it amazes me how many people are from around the world. I mean, we do have because of the infrastructure here in this area, it's amazing, how many people we cater to.
That's something really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anything else you'd like to add about Restaurant Week?
Try it out. It's a great it's a great week, and this year, like I said, it's going to be 8 days. So check us out online, restaurantweeksuffolk.com. Everything you need to know is right on that website, and we're updating daily. As restaurants sign up, we're putting everything on. So
excellent.
Keep us up to date.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you'll find our websites on theirs as well. But you can also go to our website, riverstonechophouse.com or vintagetavernvirginia.com. You're going to find Restaurant Week menus as well as our regular menu if anyone's interested in
that'd be great too,
what else we have to offer besides what we're offering on Restaurant Week.
Absolutely.
You'll find it there, as well as our Facebook.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you both for joining me. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you, and stay with us. We'll be right back to talk about another really exciting event. Welcome back. We're here now with the Executive Director of the Suffolk Humane Society, Eileen Gazzara, and Ms. Teresa Mullins, the owner of Vintage Tavern and Riverstone Chop House and the founder of Passion for Paws.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining me, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's talk a little bit to start, because I know you guys partner for this event. Let's talk about the Suffolk Humane Society. Okay,
Sure.
to talk a little about its mission, what it does, and how it does what it does so well.
Okay, the mission of Suffolk Humane Society is to end overpopulation through spay and neuter and education.
Okay.
We do a lot of programs with schools where we bring out therapy dogs, and we have a low-cost spay-neuter clinic. We have adoption events. We partner with Suffolk Animal Care Center, which is a city shelter, and we help adopt out their animals as well. We just try to do a lot to get the word out about education and.
Now, is it all kinds of animals, or do you have a certain kind of...
Cats and dogs. We have on occasion taken birds.
Have you? Okay.
Very rarely, but we have taken a couple birds in.
All right, and how does someone, if, say, they want to, adopt a pet, how does that process work?
They can adopt our cats at the local PetSmarts. They're in Chesapeake Square and Harborview.
Okay.
And our dogs are actually kept in a foster program, and you can view them on our website.
Okay.
And you make an appointment, and we actually have you meet the dog, and we do a home check, and you fill out an application.
Okay. So these foster dogs, they're in a home right now?
They are in a home.
Okay.
It actually helps them adjust and transition to being adopted out better.
Huh, that's interesting. All right, and what are kind of the costs of your program?
The cats are $85 at
Okay.
PetSmarts,
All right.
and the dogs are $220.
Okay.
And like I said, you can.
There's an application process and stuff like that.
It's all by application. They have to be approved.
All right, great. And now for this event, Passion for Paws, you guys have. How did that partnership kind of work? How did you get involved, I guess, with the Suffolk Humane Society?
Well, my husband and I have been in animal rescue just sort of on a personal basis with, canine rescue.
Okay.
Because we just have a real soft spot for dogs.
Absolutely.
And you find that there's just really only so much we can do as two individual people. And I had met some people that were involved in the Suffolk Humane Society and thought that they really had a good mission and a great network. So we decided that we wanted to do something a little bit more than just, I volunteered with them for a bit. And this Passion for Paws idea came up as a way to raise money. At the same time, having a big, fun family event that people could come to, and so while they're supporting the Humane Society by buying tickets to the event and whatnot, they're out here having a great time.
Okay, great.
And we do donate 100% of our proceeds
really?
to the Humane Society.
That's awesome.
Yes, we do.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about the event itself.
Yes.
Because as you said, I've heard such tremendous things about it, that it is so much fun for not just individuals but families, because you have so much going on.
Yes. What we do is we have it here at the Riverstone Chop House, and we do it out in the parking lot.
Okay.
So we'll have big tents set up. We have live entertainment.
Okay.
Amy Kaus has agreed to come and play for us, and she's bringing some other friends with us.
Oh, wow.
With her. And so there's a little bit something to do for everyone. The adults can listen to the music, and we have a wine tasting that goes along.
Okay.
This year we're real excited because we've added an oyster roast component
to
the whole event. So we do ask that the oyster tickets are purchased in advance, so we can be prepared for how many. We'd love for you to buy the food tickets in advance, just it helps us prepare, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can show up, you can come to the event, you can walk around, you can see some of the rescue groups that are here, visit the vendors. There'll be a silent auction, so you could bid on some of the items.
Yeah.
And there's really no fee to do that. You can still just come. But
so even if you don't want to buy food or anything, you can just be here.
But we certainly
to enjoy.
encourage
Yeah,
people to purchase the tickets. As a restaurant, we're excited about the food part that we'll have out there.
And some of it looks great. I've been kind of going over this. And
Yes. We do the Riverstone. We'll do the Chop House Burger.
Okay.
And Vintage Tavern will do their famous barbecue sandwich. And of course, we'll have lots of accompaniments.
Okay.
And this year, because it's going to be a little bit later, being November 8th, we're kind of going to get into the fall theme, and we're going to have s'mores for our desserts.
Oh, wow, that's really fun.
Our pastry chef here in Riverstone Chop House is going to be out there.
I'm sure it'll be s'mores with a twist.
Making s'mores for everyone.
So talk about kind of the prices of those food tickets and stuff like that.
Well, in advance, your picnic fair tickets are going to be $15 a person. We do have kid tickets for $8.
Okay.
That will include a hot dog and accompaniments for the kids. The oyster roast is $30. And again, that's only in advance, so there is no day of the event.
Okay. Yeah.
The other two, the day of the event, they do go up.
You can show up. There's an option.
They go
with
up
the oysters.
$5.
Okay.
So if you know you're going to come, it's to your advantage to go
Might
and
as
get
well.
your tickets ahead of time. And then we have a wine tasting as well.
Okay.
We call it our Whiskers wine tasting. And for that, we do $20 in advance and $25 the day of the event.
Okay. Those are really great prices.
I think so. I think we're trying to keep it so we feel like the more people that come, spread the word, it's affordable to come. And like I said, bottom line is to raise money for the Humane Society.
Absolutely. And people are bringing their families. What types of kids activities are there? Because you mentioned live music.
We have a clown. And I know face painting was a big hit last year.
Okay.
So the face painting and glitter tattoos.
Is this the second year this has been going on?
This is the third year.
Third year, okay. All right.
And also for the kids, what we'll do is we'll have cornhole.
Okay.
We're going to have the cornhole out there this time. And for the dogs, we definitely encourage people to bring their four-legged dogs with them, four-legged family members.
Literally is something for everyone.
We have a little, what do you want to call it, agility or obstacle course for them. And we have a costume contest.
Oh, that's fun.
And I think we had about 30 dogs participate in the costume contest last year. It was hilarious.
Do you remember what costume has won year on year?
Well, we had a Superman one that won one year, and then we had one from the Duck Dynasty that won another year.
Oh my goodness, that had to be hilarious.
So everybody really does come out and has a good time. There's a little something for everybody.
Okay, yeah, and it's such a great event because, like you said, it is so much fun for families and people,
Yes.
but it also does come back to the Suffolk Humane Society and raise so much awareness for it.
Yes, that's what really makes it exciting.
Yeah. Now, are there pets for adoption or at the event, or?
Yeah, I think there's some rescue groups.
There's some rescue groups that are going to be coming out to the event. Yes.
Okay. So that you can actually be able to see the animals and kind of participate that way.
Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully you could go home with a new member of your family if you so desire.
Oh, well, it happens that fast. You can.
With those rescue groups, it does.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I guess pivoting kind of back, talk a little bit about that application process you mentioned earlier.
Like I said, you fill out an application. We like to make sure that your pets that you currently have are current on vaccinations and spayed or neutered.
Okay.
And we want to be able to do that home check to make sure that your house is safe for a pet.
Okay.
And we also want to know a little bit about you and your personality and how that's going to mesh with whatever animal you'd like to meet from us.
Okay.
So if you're a very active person, that lab is going to be great for you. But if you're retired and you're not very active, that little Jack Russell might not be your best bet.
I'm sure,
So we can meet and we can look at your application and kind of see how they would gel together.
Okay, great. And has this event, I'm sure, grown year on year?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Yes, it has. And we're very thankful for the sponsors that we have because that helps make this event really grow and be a first-class event.
Okay.
This year, for the second year in a row, our big main sponsor is Blonde Boutique and Spa and Salon, and they are down on Shoulders Hill Road.
Oh, wow.
And our two other biggest sponsors, Rose and Wamba Realty and Academy Animal Care, many more, but those are the three that really stepped up and major sponsors.
Yeah, it's really cool that you have sponsors.
The whole community, throughout the community, we have.
It's not just an event here. Like you said, it's an entire community.
And the only other one thing I just wanted to make sure I mentioned about the tickets is that they are for sale at both Riverstone Chop House, Vintage Tavern, the Suffolk Humane Society, which is in Driver, and then Mike Duman Auto Sales, which is down off of Main Street into the more downtown
so
area.
Certainly plenty of areas you can go to purchase tickets if you need them.
Yes.
All right, great. And now, and you said you've added kind of that oyster roast this year. So you add new things kind of every year, or
that's what we try to do. We're trying to make sure we reach to a different crowd. I think the oyster roast is going to bring in a different person.
And you have the wine tasting, which is on that side. And then you have the silent auction, which is now those items donated. How does that kind of?
Most of the silent auction items, I believe, are donated. I know you guys, the Humane Society, brings a lot of those in, and we do also a wine silent auction that a lot of our wine distributors will gladly donate for that.
Okay, great. Wow. All right, well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything else you'd like to add about either the Suffolk Humane Society or about this awesome event, Passion for Paws?
Just come out and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure. So,
support us. That would be wonderful.
Like I said, you can check out our adoptable animals on our website, which is SuffolkHumaneSociety.com, and you can see a lot of pictures of our cats and kittens on our Facebook page.
Oh, great. Okay, excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you at home for joining us. And definitely go online to get your tickets or find out more information about this wonderful event, Passion for Paws.